This week we're going to talk about pistol squats. With the acquisition of any new movement, we're going to have one of two options. Option A, we reverse engineer the movement, breaking it down into its individual components. So with regards to the pistol squat, we'd be working on ankle dorsiflexion, hip flexion, and then hip compression on the non-squatting leg. While this approach works for a lot of movements, I really don't think it's necessary for the pistol squat because the pistol squat actually doesn't require that much mobility. If you have the ability to get into the bottom position of a squat, you have enough mobility to perform the pistol squat. This brings us to option 2, which is going to be regressing the movement down to a variation you're actually capable of performing, so you're actually training the movement as opposed to just trying it. This essentially can be looked at as a basic linear progression. But instead of adding more weight, we're increasing the range of motion as we get stronger and adapt to the given range we've been training. If you haven't been able to tell, I prefer this option to the more complicated reverse engineering choice. With that said, let's get into my top 3 variations or regressions of the pistol squat you can utilize to build to the full pistol. Our first variation is going to be elevated pistols. With this variation, we perform the pistol off the side of a bench or a box. This is going to give the non-squatting leg additional clearance to lift up as you lower down into the bottom position. Then over time, as that non-squatting leg hip compression improves, you can go ahead and lower the height of the object you're standing on. Moving on, we have heel elevated pistols. This is going to be a great option if you lack ankle dorsiflexion, but also keep in mind a good option if you lack that non-squatting leg hip compression. When that heel's elevated, it's going to be easier for that squatting leg knee to transfer over the toes, which is going to lend itself to a more upright torso, which means you're not going to have to use that non-squatting leg hip compression as much to keep yourself upright. Something like a bumper plate works just fine. And as you're able to reduce the size and thickness of the bumper, you're essentially getting stronger and more mobile in the position until eventually you're doing the full pistol squat. Lastly, we're moving on to counterweight pistol squats. The counterweight's going to help us maintain a more upright torso, which is a great workaround if you lack that ankle dorsiflexion. Same thing here goes if you lack the non-squatting leg hip compression. As you squat down, you can lower the weight out in front of you, creating a counterweight so you're not going to fall over in the bottom position of the pistol. Either way, you know you're improving if over time you're reducing the weight that you're using for that counterweight, until eventually, once again, you're doing pistols with no counterweight. A great place I like to start out my remote clients with is performing a 10-minute EMOM. So every minute on the minute, you're going to perform 3 reps of the pistol squat. You're only going to perform 1 leg each minute. So simple math here, in 10 minutes you're going to do 15 on the left leg and 15 on the right leg. Alright, that's all I got this week on pistols. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos, and I'll do this again next week.